Hey gang, what's up? Just Aaron right here, Question Period Canada, learning all about Canadian federal politics, sharing that with you. We've got these committee meetings. They're so exciting, guys. We get to see all the heavy hitters, Rachel Thomas, Larry Brock, Michael Barrett, Michael Cooper, Stephanie Cousy, Shannon Stubbs, Rick Perkins. There are so many heavy hitters, and the witnesses are always difficult. They never have the right answers. It's super interesting every time. Let's get into it. Let's check out another crazy committee video. Let's check it out.
We'll now begin with rounds of questions, starting with Dr. Ellis for 6 minutes.
Thank you very much, Chair, and thank you, everyone, for being here. It's certainly with interest that we'll pursue this next round of questioning. Without wanting to start a fight with Dr. Gagnon and Dr. Morgan, because, you know, both of your bios say that you're Canada's leading experts in pharmacare systems. So it's a good thing you're both not in the room. It might be interesting. But anyway, that being said, I'll start with you, Dr. Morgan. You've written 150 papers about pharmacare and how to implement it. I'm interested to know how much consultative time you spent with the government on this Bill C-64.
I was not directly involved in developing this piece of legislation or the bill at all. So I've worked with government, advised different people within the bureaucracy and government over many years, but I was not involved in drafting Bill C-64.
Thank you for that. And through you, Chair, Dr. Gagnon, were you involved in the drafting of C-64?
Absolutely not.
Okay, well, got two Canadian experts who had nothing to do with this. This scares me. So that being said, Dr. Gagnon, you talked about the universal healthcare system and a universal pharmacare system. Now, I was a family doctor for a long time. You know, the Canadian Medical Association president a couple of years ago, Dr. Catherine Smart, said that the universal healthcare system is on the brink of collapse. So clearly we have a system that, for a whole host of reasons, is not working. It's not managing well. It's not being managed well. Why would we want to enter into a universal pharmacare system? Again, I'll even put myself in the same boat, whether I should. It wouldn't matter if it was a conservative government or a liberal government. Why should we trust the federal government to make another system that, in my mind, is probably just going to fail Canadians?
So when it comes to implementing universal pharmacare, it doesn't have to be for the federal government to do this. That can be done at the provincial level. That can be done through specific agencies that are being put in place for this, through different type of social insurance systems. So you can have an independent agency taking care of this. But with the current fragmented system where there's no objectives, common objectives, massive waste, we have right now 100 different public drug programs. We have more than 100,000 private drug programs going in every direction, and you end up with a system that if you want to navigate and play the game, basically, doors are very much open for abuse, and this is what we're seeing a lot. So when it comes to cleaning up what's happening, a universal single-payer public system remains the best thing to do. Then you can have all the other players adding up with supplementary coverage, be it provinces being private payers. It's not an issue, but we need a solid foundation that works well, that is efficient, that works rationally, that gets us value for money, that also promotes a more appropriate use of medicine. And if we have these building blocks, then we can see, in terms of in French we say la finition. Then we see basically what we add up over this, and we can build different things. But we need the solid foundation. It's not there right now, and we are not prepared with, for example, all these new super expensive drugs coming to the market. We are not prepared to face the music. Canadians are not prepared because we don't have these foundations now.
Thank you very much. And Dr. Morgan, I'll turn to you. The other thing that it appears is often, we've heard in the last couple of days testimony related to the length of time it takes a medication to get on formularies on behalf of Canadians, often thousands of days. We've got the Health Canada, PMPRB, CDA, CADA, PCPA, et cetera, et cetera. It would appear to me that it would have been also a good idea in this Bill C-64 to add some oversight of those agencies, specifically the newly formed CDA. Do you think that would be benefit here, or do you have some other ideas around the necessity to get drugs to market on behalf of Canadians?
A couple points. I'm glad you raised the issue around timeliness in terms of drug approvals and coverage decisions. Some of the evidence that's been cited in testimony in these hearings is concerning or from reports that start the clock, so to speak, when a medicine is first approved in any country internationally. So it doesn't take into account the fact that manufacturers themselves choose to delay the introduction of a drug into some markets for strategic purposes, but also because often they'll trial drugs in markets like the United States, Germany, or Japan, and then choose whether ever to even launch in other markets. Nearly half of all drugs that are trialed in that way don't make it to other markets, so that's important to know. As far as delays in approval times, I think there are concerns about making sure that Health Canada is adequately staffed and resources to make its timelines. There's also concerns about the fact that the fragmented system we have right now with CADF and the PCPA and then provincial decision making that follows it is one that does beget long delays in coverage decision making. And in fact, in that process, it is one of these processes that no means no in terms of the recommendations from the advisory bodies, but yes only means maybe, because provinces are not bound to complete the coverage equation. So a truly national program that is managed by an agency such as the Canadian Drug Agency or something like that was given the budget to manage and the task of making sure that there was timely access would be a system that would make sure that we don't have those kinds of delays.
Thank you.
It should be reasonably independent, but it should be accountable for performance.
Thank you, Dr. Morgan. Next.
Everyone has an opinion about Canadian federal politics. What do you think, gang? Point of order, Mr. Chair. What is going on in these committee meetings? We do get the best of the best. Larry Brock, Garnet Genu, Rick Perkins, Michael Chong, Michael Cooper, Shannon Stubbs, Michael Barrett, with Stephanie Kusi. The list goes on and on. They're always super interesting. Something else that's super interesting is the live show that we cover. We cover every question period daily broadcast. It's fun. Come join the community. It's a fun chat room if you like that kind of thing. We keep it clean, but we're learning about Canadian federal politics, and we'll continue with that and these series of videos about the committee meetings. So like, subscribe, get notified, share, all that fun stuff. Check out one of the other videos floating around here. We'll catch you next video. Thank you very much for watching this one. Also, check out our live broadcast. It's really fun. Like, subscribe, get notified, and share. All those fun things. We'll catch you next video. Thanks for watching.